Coming to you live from the bottom of Mel's Hole, BOMH, with Crash and Reese, the Ball. Bringing you things you know, the things you don't know, and the things you need to know.
All right, everyone, we got a great show for you tonight. We're delving deep into premonitions and dreams. What secrets are locked in our deep subconscious? Do humans have some unknown ability to predict future events? Are there mysterious entities that help mold and shape certain events in our lives? Our caller tonight claims just that. Caller, you're on the air. Can you give us our name and location and where you're calling from?
Hey, my name's Willie James. I'm calling from Atmore, Alabama. Congratulations, guys, on y'all's new podcast. Wish y'all well. Just want to go over a couple of things that happened to me in my life. I've had dreams and premonitions just about my entire life, and I like to share a couple of them with you. Maybe probably the earliest one that I can remember was an incident where my great-grandfather was put in a nursing home, and we would go out, my grandfather and I, and grandmother, and we would go out and take care of his house and yard, mow the grass, and do things like that for him, as well as visit him in the nursing home. And we would try to take care of the home place, and so we did that most weekends. Either we would visit him in the nursing home, or either go to his place and take care of him, take care of the property and mow and do things like that. One particular night, we were out there. It had gotten dark. We were taking care of the yard, and it got dark on us, and so I went with my grandfather and my grandmother to help them out. And on the way back, we were coming down a long 3-mile road that was just completely dark, wooded road, not well traveled, very few cars. Many times you would go down that road and never even meet a car coming or going.
Right.
This particular night, we got on the highway there, and I seen this red light. Looked like a motorcycle tail light, except it was kind of like all over the place, like out in the edge of the woods, out in the ditch, and high, it was low, moving around, and so it wasn't stable in the middle of the highway like a motorcycle tail light. And it was just one red, distinct red light. My grandmother saw it, my grandfather saw it, I saw it. If we slowed down, it seemed like the light slowed down. I said, "What is that?" I said, "It's all out in the woods." And I said, "That can't be no motorcycle all over the road like that." And the windows rolled down on the truck we were driving, and you couldn't hear a motor. We were just going slow. It would slow down. It would speed up. So my grandfather said, "Speed up and catch that. What is that?" My grandmother was just deadly silent, and my grandfather and I were talking, and as we speed up, it seemed to speed up too. And like I say, it would move over like in the ditch area toward the woods. It would go up what appeared to be 8 foot, 7, 8 foot, then down to maybe look like it was above the ground, like 3 or 4 foot, you know.
Wow, that's interesting.
That thing went the entire distance of that 3-mile road. It was exactly 3 miles from where we got off of the home place to the road near where we live. And so that light stayed ahead of us that entire distance. And as we made the turn on the road we live on, it made the turn as well, and then just completely just vanished.
Wow.
That was kind of eerie feeling. We all had an eerie feeling. What is this? What did we just witness? What could that have been?
Was it a eerie feeling like, what's going on? I'm scared, or was it like something, supernatural feeling?
More of a, I don't know what I'm seeing, kind of a scary feeling.
Okay.
So more of a curiosity
like
type
up on
thing.
the back of your neck type of thing.
Wow.
It,
Completely understandable as well.
so, as we come on home, on our road and turned into the yard and finally made, grandfather was opening up the back door. You could hear the house phone. In those days, you had the square rotary house phone was ringing real loud, of course. And the phone was ringing. We could hear it as we were trying to get the back door open. My grandfather was opening the house up, and so my grandmother went immediately straight to the telephone and picked the telephone up. And I was, a young guy, preteen. I was about 12, somewhere in there. And my grandfather said something to the effect that who could be calling, after dark like this, I mean, back in those days, not like now, where people just call all the time,
Right.
So, I remember distinctly saying, Pop, I said Pa, and that's what we call my great-grandfather's Pa. I said, Pop, I said, I bet Pa's dead. And I don't know what made me say that, just the feeling I had. He hadn't been sick when we visited him the last time in a nursing home. He was very seldom sick in a nursing home. But just that eerie feeling of leaving his house and that red light. And sure enough, when my grandmother spoke to my great aunt, I called my grandfather to the phone to let him know that Pa had passed away just a few hours earlier.
Wow.
That's always been, I think that's the first instant that I remember of many things that has happened in my life. Now, I've heard things said over the years of red lights being warnings, and there's other mothman and different things. We didn't see anything like that, just seen the red light.
Yeah, now there's definitely right. There's definitely been some situations that's happened. Most notably, the Mothman prophecies and Injured Cold in Point Pleasant crash. Do you know anything? Do you have any kind of input on that at all?
Just the only stories my family's also told me about crazy stuff like that. And whenever I was young, I had premonitory dreams, but
Yeah.
I never knew what they meant. Like, they didn't really coincide with a major event afterwards. It was just a regular day when they happened, so I never really paid too much attention to them.
Now, I know there's a lot of stories in Point Pleasant about people seeing red lights, having phone calls or events happening, and immediately afterwards some big event or some tragic event would take place, and that sounds very similar to what's going on here. What year did you say this happened?
That would have to be probably in the very early 80s.
Okay.
Like 80, 81. So I've never seen that red light like that in no other event in my life. The death of my father, mother, or anything like that. I've never witnessed anything like that. My grandmother, she raised me most of my life, and she had many premonitions as well. My mother passed away, and I remember another incident where I was at my mother's house. This was before she, of course, passed away and got very sick. But I was there, and my sister and my mother grandmother went to town to buy groceries, and my grandmother lived right next door. I mean, 30 feet away, and she was at home, so I stayed with my grandmother, and me and my buddy was out playing football, just throwing the ball, and we've been playing for a while, and so I seen my mom and my sister, hey, we're going to buy groceries, be back in a little while, so we just continued to play. This is probably the second event of something just unexplainable, and I just don't know what anybody would call it that happened at the end. So, at some point, I told my buddy, I said, I've got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. And he waited right outside, and I run in the house real fast, and ran to the restroom and used the restroom as fast as I could, and come kind of running back through the house, and all the way like to the back door, about to open the door and go back out, I could see him just standing there with a ball waiting on me.
Yeah.
Just something overpowering. It just told me, go back, turn around and go back through the kitchen and into the dining room.
Like a feeling?
Pull a straight chair, a regular kitchen chair, table chair, out from under the table. And pull it out into the walkway there, because when your mother comes in from buying groceries, she's gonna faint or fall, and this chair's gonna catch her.
What?
And it was so strong. As a young guy, I should have seen him and just ran on the back door and began to play ball again, and turned around. It was so strong, went back through the kitchen, flew into the dining room, and one of the kitchen table chairs, just a wooden chair at that time, I pulled it out and faced it, completely facing towards the kitchen, and then I felt okay, and I ran on out the back door, and we began to play again, and had a good time, and didn't even realize later that my mother and my sister come home from buying groceries, and he went on home, and I come on in the house, and my sister was putting up some groceries, and I said, where's Mama? She said, she's in the bedroom. She had to lay down. She said, when we came in from buying groceries, she was taking some groceries in, put them on the table, and she fainted. If it hadn't been for that chair, so she would have fell in the floor. So somebody left the chair pulled out, and she fell right in that chair, and it caught her. And
that is amazing.
If the chair hadn't been there, she would have really maybe hurt herself. And I don't think I even told my sister or my mother that feeling that I just couldn't even leave the house. And I've often wondered what makes that. Is that God? Is that angels? Is that what causes those things to happen? And we lived this life before. Are we repeating this, and are we getting some premonition from something? Is this just a big loop that we're living in? I'm not sure what causes those kind of things. I mean, I've had many incidents like that. Those were just the first two as a young man that I distinctly remember, just vivid details of those. Many dreams come true. My grandmother as well. My grandmother, the same one that was with us the night that we saw the red light. That grandmother, she told me probably 4 days before she passed away, and she was doing very well. She was in good health for her age, and doing all of her own housework. Was in great health, for the most part. And she told me, she said, I've been having this dream. I've seen this like hearse coming down the road. I said, a hearse coming down the road? She said, yeah. She she said, it gives me an eerie feeling. And apparently she dreamed that a couple of times within 4 days right before she passed away. And but stories like that from her, and incidents similar to that dream, which I don't want to take up all your time. I'll be glad to call in another time and talk about some of the dreams and things that's happened that's came true. But I'm just curious if you guys have any ideas of premonitions, where they come from, what's the source of them. I'll get off here now and let you guys kind of give me some input and maybe what y'all's thoughts of where these kinds of things come from. I've often wondered, was it spirits? Was it angels? Is it deceased loved ones warning us? Is it a big loop that our life's living in, that we're just continuing to be reincarnated and live it again? I'm not sure of the answers. I just know it's happened in my life, and I think that most people have experienced these kinds of things to one degree or another. And sometimes people just get a few of them in an entire lifetime, and I'm curious as to why, if it's warnings from spiritual beings or angels or anything, why don't it happen on a regular basis? Maybe it does and we don't pay attention. I'm not sure, guys.
Well, we really appreciate you calling in. If you want to call back another day and tell us those stories that you have from your past, we would be more than happy to have you on. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world and that happens to all of us, and a lot of the times we don't understand it. Who knows what it is?
Well, I asked this question to a lot of preachers whenever I was a kid, because as I said, I had dreams, but it wasn't like any major events. Right. So I couldn't really get an answer from a preacher I was satisfied with. There was only one preacher who ever gave me an answer that even made any kind of sense to the ones that I had, and he simply said that it was just God's way of showing you that you're on the road that he wanted you to be on. That by showing you that, that happened, that's where you were supposed to be at that time, and that's where he needed you to be.
Right.
And that was the only answer they ever gave me that even came close to making sense.
Well, I mean, there's many ways of looking at it. That could be 100% right. Maybe some people, our listeners, could, chime in with a little bit of information on their own. Maybe they have some insight. But this definitely opens up a lot of questions. Mr. Willie, I want to personally thank you for calling, and you're more than welcome to call back anytime, and I really appreciate your time and input here.
Hey, we appreciate your show.
All right, have a great night.
Bye, y'all.
Wow, that was pretty interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty nice. I liked it.
I want to make a comment on that. A reoccurring theme in all his stories that he told was a feeling. He kept saying, I had a feeling that I needed to move that chair. He said, I had a weird feeling about the light. And then when he got home, he said, I had a feeling that my pop had died. What do you think that is? Do you think it's, it may be God. It may be God coming in and saying, I need you to be in this area. I need you to do this. Or it could be something else. I don't want it to sound like we're pushing religion. Obviously, I am an open Christian. I do believe in God, and I believe that God works in mysterious ways, and He guides our lives every day. I also know that there are a lot of other forces at work in this world, and I do believe that people, sometimes have abilities or what have you that surface from time to time. All of these things could play a point. Who knows what's going on? Could it be paranormal? Could it be God? Could it be entities from a realm we can't see? We'll leave that up to the viewers.